I think this movement that we're continually doing in holographic breathing with the movement of the jaw is very good around food and food addictions or any type of addictions, because a lot of addictions come from very early childhood, being suckled or not being suckled, or all sorts of things that's happened then. Because holographic breathing is so similar to a subtle form of suckling, I think it's sating that all of the time. And I've noticed over the years that I got no fads with foods anymore, and I quite happily eat nothing. And a friend of mine, she went down with Lyme disease about 6 months ago, and she found this Russian guy, she just read this book of this woman who had late stage Lyme disease. She was bedridden, shaking like MS, her brain was shot, everything was shot. And she went to this Russian who does dry fasts for 9 days, dry fast, nothing, no food, no water. And afterwards, she was completely healed. No more Lyme disease. So my friend is going to go down that route and go on, you know, you have to build up to it, but you end up with, you have to go to a different country. It's not Russia, it's gone to somewhere else to run them. But they're quite extreme. I mean, no water for 9 days is quite something. But I'm very intrigued with it, and I've started going along that, and I'm just doing intermittent dry fasting. I'm taking it slowly because there's this Russian saying it's brilliant for you, and a couple of people saying it's brilliant for you, and there's this host of doctors saying you'll die if you do that, your kidneys need water. So I'm doing intermittent dry fasting, where I just eat for 4 hours and then have 20 hours of just not eating and drinking. And I think it's a holographic breathing because through that time I'm totally not hungry, not at all. And when it comes to eat and drink again, I almost have to force myself to do it. So I'm going to carry on with it. I'm going to do intermittent like that for a good few months because I'm feeling very good on it, and then see how it goes. And I'll let people know about that, because I know a lot of people come here and they've got different illnesses and things that they would like to work with. And the dry fasting seems to work good with holographic breathing because we're eating all of the time, or all of the time you're doing holographic breathing, you're kind of eating. So it sates that wanting to eat stuff. I will also make some videos of the highly nutritious blends that I make, and also how I produced things that nobody ever has done before or made. I make the best in the world vacuum blenders. They got vacuum blenders on the market which say they take the air out, but they don't. And I use a proper vacuum that really, it boils the water at room temperature and it fills it up with water vapor, so there's no oxygen in it at all, and you blend in an oxygen-free environment, and so it doesn't kill all of the nutriments and it doesn't oxidate at all. So I'll make a video of that and do nutriments. I just feel to share this because it is somehow, it seems it might be useful to people. So that will be there if people want to try that out. And if I die or if my friend dies, you know that it's a wrong avenue to go down. But one of the great things about what I find great about dry fasting, it just feels totally natural. This was what would have happened. You would have been without food and water for quite a long period of time, and then you would get food and water, and you get water from the food. But the interesting thing on dry fast is as the body starts losing water, it kills bacteria and infections to get the water out of them. So, you know, your immune system won't kill the different bacteria half the time. But if you're dry fasting, it goes after all of the bacteria or the bad bacteria in you and kills them for food and water. It becomes food. Or like for bad immune system or injured cells, it will sacrifice injured cells and reconstitute them. So you do get a kind of a new body in a way that you don't on water fasting, because on water fasting, the bugs like the water. They live in a watery environment. And that's how it's killing the Lyme disease, because the Lyme disease is a bacteria, and it also goes into the cells and injures the cells, and your immune system will kill the injured cells and kill the bacteria for bugs. So I'm doing it to try and revamp my body from having Lyme disease. I don't actually think I've got Lyme disease anymore. I think I've healed it. But certainly my immune system has never kicked in properly since. So I'm doing it for that. But I'll keep you updated. I'll make videos on that and let people know. And also in the new year, I'll also be starting some kind of training. These are kind of trainings anyway, that at high level people come along and I teach at that level. But I'll be teaching people how to teach holographic breathing and what I do. And I think the difference in that will be, one, I'll be showing people what I'll do, but I think there'll also be a transmission. So even if you don't teach holographic breathing afterwards, I think there will be the spiritual transmission behind holographic breathing, or from your higher self to whatever that is. That is what happened last time I taught it as a practitioner training. The people didn't all per se go out and teach it, but it came through at a different level. So those are things that are coming up and what we will be moving into. If I manage to survive the next few months, that is. With all of the dogs attacking me and things falling apart. I'm sure I'll get through. Anyway,